Hey there, welcome to your cool down of the week. 5 stretches for you, and we're going to start on our back in a reclined hamstring stretch. Just get right into it. So everybody lay flat. Left leg will be extended to the ceiling, right leg straight on the floor. You're going to grab for the back of the thigh, the knee, whatever you can here. And just a gentle flex of the feet. So the feet are a little bit active and helping you create more length through the back of the leg as you just relax into the stretch. And each pose today will spend about 30 seconds to a minute, just breathing and stretching. If at any point you want to pause to go for a longer time, feel free to do that, especially if there's one side that feels a little tighter than the other. Good, and then from here, just go ahead and release your left leg to the floor and extend your right leg up for second side. And again, feet are just gently flexed and a little bit active so that you can kind of pull that stretch up into the calf on this side. Just a couple more breaths here. Good, and let's go ahead and release this, and we're gonna come into pigeon. So go ahead and sit up, and we're gonna find our hands and knees. We're gonna start with the right side. Okay? And so from your hands and knees position here, you'll just bring your right knee towards your right wrist, and then we'll scoot the back leg back a little bit. And then from here, we can stay on the palms, we can come to the forearms, just anything to help relax that upper body. So you can also make fists, so you can rest your forehead on there. If you're feeling a little tight in the hip and you feel like a lot of space between your hip and the floor, you can also, for a little bit more relaxed position, kind of roll to the outer right hip and then still bow the chest over the shin to get the stretch you need. We'll just stay here for just a little bit, trying to breathe and relax. And then from here, we're just going to kind of find our way out of this position back to the hands and knees. Little wiggle of the hips before we go into the second side. And so from this position, again, left knee now towards left wrist. Scoot the right leg back. And either coming down to the forearms or wherever you were before. And again, if you can see, my hip is pretty high off of the mat today. So I'm going to go for that more relaxed position and just rest and roll to the outer left hip this time. And again, you're just trying to soften the upper body so that you can feel the ease throughout the rest of the body where you feel tension in the hip. So it's just focusing the tension in the hip, everything else is soft. Couple more breaths. now just gently bringing yourself out of that position. Back to the hands and knees. Just for a little bit of movement. And then from here, we're going to go on to our back again. So we're going to flip over. And we're going to get into our reclined twist. So let's lay back. Extend that right leg, left knee into the chest. And then you'll send that left knee over to the right for a twist. And just let everything get heavy and fall towards the floor. Couple more breaths. Good. And now let's bring that left knee through center. And just an easy switch of the legs. So your right knee will come in, left leg long on the mat. And then for a little extra, you can scoot your hips over to the right a little bit. Might give you a little bit more twist. Let that knee fall over. Extend the right arm. And allow everything to soften down towards the floor. Good. And gently bringing that knee back through center. And both a little squeeze into the chest. And then we'll rock back up to the hands and knees as we get into child's pose side stretch. So from this hands and knees position, toes will come together, knees apart. And then you'll just sit those hips towards the heels and walk the hands out a little bit more in front. Then from here, let's walk the hands over to the left. You're going to reach through that right arm, anchor that right arm down towards the floor, and then drop your right hip down. Feel a lot of length through the outer right ribs, maybe down into the lower back. Walk the hands through center and over to the other side. Again, now that we're reaching now through the left side, left arm, and letting those left hips drop back. And walking the hands back through center. And then we're going to move the mat now to the wall. And so a wall that you've got a little bit of space with, okay, for our final stretch, which will be our straddle. And in our straddle, this is where we'll close out. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. And as you do this throughout the week, feel free to, like I said, stay in positions that you need a little bit more time with. So we're going to get the mat close to the wall. We're going to get ourselves close to the wall. And we're going to get our legs up. And then from here, we'll just let those legs go wide. And we're going to let gravity do a lot of the work here. And so you just find a position that's more of a resting pose. And then those legs and feet will start dropping gently as things start to release and relax. Feel free to stay here as long as you need to. And just trying to find as much ease in this position as you can. Spend a few more breaths here. Then again, if you want to stay longer, feel free to do that. And then when you're ready, you can come out of this position and you are all set for the day. I'm just going to allow myself to stay here for a little bit longer. And so I will say thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.